Topping the Today in AZ After Show this morning, breaking news that Vanessa's been rambling about all morning long. Tell the people what's going on.
Yes, Matthew McConaughey joined Instagram yesterday. Officially on his 50th birthday. Yes, I already started following him. He already has over 600,000 followers. Only one post.
Is it just him in a Lincoln?
It's a video.
It's a video, yeah. And he's excited to share a little bit about his life, he said, every day. He's a little nervous at the same time when I was reading his article. But, yeah, so I'm excited. I know all the ladies are excited.
I was super excited when that crossed my timeline yesterday. I followed immediately.
Right. It's official Matthew McConaughey.
So I launched my gram back in May, and I'm proud to say I've already got 1,164 followers. So
you're killing it.
Doing pretty well, Paul.
Yeah.
Neck and neck. Maybe try posting some food.
yeah, what was this post? There was just a video of
Just
him?
him being silly.
Talking about, yeah. And his picture, he's like in a cowboy hat, right? Or something?
baseball cap
Basically, yeah, something. I'm like, I don't know. He
It was
wears
blue.
cowboy hat.
What else was he wearing? I can tell you right now.
I already wasn't.
She knows details.
All right.
I know. So University of Texas, my alma mater, of course, did an awesome montage for him for his big birthday because, you know, he's like Minister of Culture and whatnot over there. So, yeah, they did an awesome, like, birthday tribute video to him of all his highlights.
Did he show his abs?
I highly recommend him. I don't think there was a shirtless poster there, but there are a lot of other really good ones.
Okay.
What's the show?
One can still wait.
What are we doing?
We're just telling everybody they have to know about this because if you're not following him,
breaking
then go
news.
follow him.
All right, while you do that, let's get to our topic this morning. You may have seen it on Today in AZ. We're talking about a 4-day work week. Do you think it would make you more productive?
What a dream.
Yes.
Hop in the comment section. Let us know what you think the pros and the cons might be. The reason we bring it up is because Microsoft just finished a test of this concept in Japan, which traditionally is one of the most overworked cultures in the world. The overtime that people work in Japan is just, even in a place like the United States, is nuts.
Yeah.
And apparently the switch to 4 days increased productivity by 40%.
Wow.
And almost across the board, something like 96% of those who responded said that they were happier at the end of it. Yeah, no kidding. A little more extra time to spend doing the things that you love.
Do you know what surprised me, though, is seeing how it was almost 60% less paper printing.
Yeah, that is interesting.
That's a huge number.
It was almost 25% less electricity, too, by not having to run
That
the office.
I get with the AC and all that, but it was like the paper printing. I'm like, that's a big chunk. Oh, my gosh.
Good morning to Diana, saying hi in the comment section. Lonnie says, absolutely. Used to work 4-day weeks in the DDS office for years. Brian says no, but he'll take a 3-day weekend. Well, I'm not great with math, Brian, but
You got to give something to get something, Brian.
I'm one of those guys that I would work 2 20s if I had to. You know what I mean? Like, I think having the days to explore and go places and see family and friends, that's worth so much more to me than, like, I can tough out the work days.
Yeah.
Like, I feel envious of those who get to work 4 10s, or if it's a nurse or a flight attendant, maybe 3 long shifts instead. Like, that's ideal.
Because once you're there and you're in the zone,
You're there.
you're good.
Yeah.
You're there, you've committed, it's on your schedule. So I feel like you could go from an 8 to a 10-hour day pretty easily.
Oh, yeah. And
Most,
in fact,
most 8s are 10s.
I was going to say, for most who are salaried, there's
Yes.
many a days where my 8 quickly turns into 10.
10 becomes
Easy.
12 pretty fast, too.
Yeah.
It's funny. You remember when you were maybe early in your working careers, how slowly time would tick by? I remember this when I was working like food service jobs, especially. I would just have an eye on the clock all the time. But it's like, I still have 6 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Here, sometimes look at the clock and be like,
I
I've been here
know.
for 9 hours already.
And I didn't even get what I needed done.
Right.
There's so much to do.
I thought you said you didn't even get lunch.
Here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's
And we don't get lunch here.
No
like, you
lunch.
don't get up and go like other people do. Like, you sit at your desk and you eat while you're working.
If you're even lucky to
Yeah.
grab a bite to eat then, yeah.
I've probably eaten, I would say, 3/4 of my meals in this business at my desk or in my car.
Oh, totally.
Eating in your car is an art when you work in TV news.
Yeah.
As
while you're driving to
while
your
you're
location
driving.
where you need to be.
What a bad choices.
You guys ever work a job that worked less than 5 days a week?
No.
No, me neither. Unless it was a part-time.
Right, well,
Yeah.
when I was in
That doesn't
school.
really qualify.
I'm like, before I started this full-time job, I work in the DMAX in Sevilla.
I mean, like, one of the reasons this is becoming such a topic of conversation is just the rise of automation. And I think that eventually, and we've talked about this topic on the show before, that there just won't be that many jobs left. That automation will claim enough of the human workforce that rather than be unemployed, we have to get creative with solutions as to how we're going to manage our workforce. And I think it's something that improves the quality of our lives. I mean, think, how many days a week are you 100% dialed in from the moment you get in to the moment you leave? I don't think most of us can say that we do that on a week-to-week basis. You check in, you check out for moments of time, you're messing around on Facebook, you leave the office a little early, you take a longer lunch, whatever. If you were working only 4 days, I think that you could crunch that productivity into a smaller time frame and still get as much, if not more, done.
Yeah, because you're on a deadline to get everything done in those 4 days. So if you had to choose, would you take Monday off or Friday off?
Friday.
Friday.
Friday?
I mean, Mondays are the worst, but to have that Friday, Saturday, Sunday bunch, whew.
The thing is about Mondays is like totally selfishly is that so many salons, restaurants,
closed.
different things are business. A lot of businesses take Mondays off, service industry businesses.
Yeah.
So when I used to have Mondays off, I was like, oh, you can't really get anything done.
I didn't think about that. Oh.
Diana says they used to work 410s. It was great. I think people will be happier and more productive. Rudy says, I don't know how guys get up so early in the morning. Does it affect your social life? Yeah, it does.
Yes, it
very
does.
much so. And you sacrifice at one end or another, right? And it's like that for any profession, not just what we do, but like if you're choosing to be more social and lead a more fulfilling life, you have to cut somewhere. And so it often means cutting sleep, which makes you miserable at work.
Yes, it's hard.
David says depends on what you do for a living. 8 hours is in a day is enough for me. There was someone who commented this morning on this story that said you shouldn't be working more than 8 hours a day. Like your capacity for like actually being functional.
I can see that. I mean, she had a valid point.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know, I think it's interesting though, just watching some friends of mine who are kind of coming from like the tech industry and some of these startups and things like that, and how they're working to woo this younger workforce, and they are demanding more of a work-life balance, and they're saying, you know what, we'll do the 10-hour so we can have the lifestyle with the 3 days off. Another friend of mine was telling me there's like across the board in her company, the young people have now come and said, you're not allowed to send an email after business hours.
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's the way it should be,
And they
because
said,
you're working.
there's no, if you need to tell me something, you can set a timer to time that email to send it by 9 or 8 a.m. the next day, but do not send it at 6:30.
Yeah.
Or you
They
just
said
put
if
your
it's
email in your
urgent,
phone.
they'll text you. But other than that, they're like, there should be no work communication beyond 9 to 5. I'm like, where were
That's
these people?
fantastic.
Where were these people when I was starting out? We were
there's-
too scared.
There's
to
two
ask for that.
strongly conflicting opinions here in the comment section.
Yeah.
I think accurately represent both ends of the spectrum. Jake says just switch to 410s, and I really like it. I'm not sure if I could go back to 5 days a week. It's nice to have a 3-day weekend. Occasionally it turns into a 4-day weekend when you have a holiday.
Yeah,
you
Monday.
got to think
Oh,
about that too.
yeah.
And then Steve, I've been waiting for your comment all morning long. Should be a 6-day work week. Stop being lazy, says Steve. Steve, my guess is that you're probably in the boomer generation. Here's my problem with this, Steve. Just because something always
6
was a
days.
certain way doesn't mean it should be a certain way. And we talked about this on the show this morning. There's this culture, and it's not just in the United States. It's in Japan and other countries too. But here in the States, I feel like we have this like feeling that if we're not suffering, then we're not trying hard enough. Like the whole stop being lazy thing. I don't think wanting to have a more fulfilling life outside of the
No.
office or outside of your job is being lazy.
In fact, you're putting in more hours
Yeah,
per day.
exactly. And your output is increased in your time in the office, and you're
Yeah.
living a fuller life outside of it.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
good for
that's
your
the
mental
opposite.
health.
Reorganizing. It's
You
more
know?
like reorganizing. You're still
And it's
working
good
as
for your
hard.
physical health. They found that
Yeah.
too. We did the story just yesterday about burnout. I mean, it's a real condition.
I mean, it's tough to get to the. I mean, let's just talk about physical activity, just one small piece of this puzzle. How often are you working out on days that you work long days? Not very often,
you're
right?
too tired.
And if you are, good for you. And I know there are a lot of people that stick to it no matter how hard their workday was. But I think for the average person, it's tough to work in that physical activity and to diet well when you're working a lot. Sometimes you just eat out of necessity. You're talking about eating at your desk or your
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
These aren't 5-star
Yeah.
dining options here. They often come in wrappers. And that said, like if you have that extra day, maybe it's one extra day you're getting to the gym. Maybe it's one extra day you're cooking a meal for yourself, you know?
Cooking something healthy.
Yeah, I think that's the opposite of laziness, Steve.
Yeah.
Lynn says she's been on the 410 schedule several times, less stop and start. Now she's back to a 5-8, and there's just not enough weekend. We saw better attendance at work, too, she said.
When it's 4:10.
You see that, though?
That's
people
a
call in on
really
a
good
Friday
point. 'Cause
or a
you know the
Monday.
people that always call
Yes.
in on the Friday or the Monday. Like, really?
Day after Memorial Day.
Like, I saw you out Saturday night. You don't remember, but I saw
Party
you.
too hard.
Exactly. I know. I think it'd be interesting to see if it really does reduce sick call-ins.
I'd be curious to see the people who have worked 410s and don't like it. I haven't seen one of those comments
Yes.
yet.
Where are you?
I think that speaks to
Where are
the issue at
nurses?
hand.
In our business, though, how would you manage that? Like, you
would
know?
just be
Oh,
scheduled differently.
you'd manage.
I don't know.
The news will.
I mean, I only anchor the morning
Despite
show
what they
4 days
tell
a week.
you.
Well, that's true. You
I go
do,
Tuesday,
right.
Friday.
And
Mark
then
and
someone
Karibe
comes
the
in,
same way. They
fill in.
only anchor 4 days during the week because they anchor Sundays now. And so it's just a matter of
You have
like
enough people,
just have a couple
it's not
different
a
crews. That's all.
problem.
My biggest worry is like always trying to, if I ever get sick or try to call in, like it's like, oh, who's going to cover my shift?
I feel that way
Who's gonna
too.
be like,
Yeah.
it's like you have to worry about it, you
Yeah.
know? It's not like another job where
Not a
you
lot
could
of people
call.
are traffic trained specifically.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, it's always like, I get nervous about it.
Yeah.
Like, and then you go to work sick because you have no one to cover you. And then everybody else gets mad because then you get them sick. And it's like, oh.
Think about the toll that takes on your company. Just you coming in sick, potentially getting other people sick. Think of the man hours that are lost. You know what I mean? All right, let's take a quick breather from this discussion and get over to our ICYMI. In case you missed it on Today in AZ this morning, this might make you hungry.
For breakfast, Krispy Kreme just might hit the spot. Krispy Kreme serving up pie-inspired donuts through Thanksgiving. Look how adorable that is. They come in 3 flavors: apple, cherry, chocolate, cream pie. Yeah, you can snag 2 dozen for $13. They're going to be in stores through the 23rd of November.
You know they're not going to look like that, though, right? Like,
Oh, they're totally going to look like that, and they're going to be warm.
these are all primped and ready to rock. That's not how they're going to look.
I'm going to show up. Now I don't even have to worry about my recipe. I'm just going to show up with 2 dozen of these.
Let me just slow this video down a little more. Smell-o-vision.
You know what? I think that you should pick some up for us to see if that's how they
Yes.
really look.
Yes, that would be a
Yeah.
good
We'll
experiment.
test it.
Why am I being thrown?
Because you said they don't look like that.
Well, they don't look like that.
We just told
Well,
you.
why don't you find
Yes,
out?
you're
need
gonna
to
find out for
verify.
us.
Where's there
We
a
need to
Krispy
connect
Kreme
the
around
dots.
here? Where's there even a Krispy Kreme around here?
I'll find you one.
Yeah, so you guys, if you can
Google
tell me where to go, I'll figure it out for
That
you.
apple pie looked good.
I want the chocolate,
Chocolate-
cream
chocolate.
pie
Chocolate
all
cream?
day.
I am not a donut fan, but
What?
I do like Krispy Kreme. I will eat Krispy Kreme donuts, and I love pie, so
That's a good mix.
That is a great mix.
They should come up with a pumpkin pie one.
Now you're
So
talking.
Krispy Kreme does have pumpkin
Something.
donuts because when I went over there during Halloween time, they're like, oh, you can order them, ahead of time for Halloween day. So that, I bet that's still going on. I would think I would suggest as a business model,
Right.
continue it through
Until
Thanksgiving. You can
Thanksgiving.
still milk this whole pumpkin thing.
Yeah.
Go to Thanksgiving dessert. What's like the number one on your list? Because for me,
Pecan
it's pumpkin pie.
pie. Pecan pie.
Pecan. I was with
Over
you.
pecan man.
Rock Springs pie plate. Best pecan pie ever.
I love the gelatinous
Yeah.
middle.
Oh.
That's
So
like
let me-
what makes me happy.
Here's the thing. I understand that pumpkin pie is not actually pumpkin, that it's mostly squash, and you can get the filling in a can, and
Yes.
it can be kind of gross, right? But
It's delicious.
It's I love it. First of all,
is good.
second of all, pecan pie, as good as it is, and I love pecan pie. Just watching someone make a pecan pie or making one yourself just makes you realize that you're pretty much just eating sugar.
Just fat.
You're just pouring fat and sugar into a
totally.
pie
Yeah.
tin.
Get in my belly.
Like pumpkin
want all
pie,
of
I
it.
can at least pretend that there are vegetables involved.
It's dessert.
Yeah,
I mean,
You already had
the
your green
nuts.
bean
They have
casserole. You're
protein.
good.
we're stretching. We are stretching there.
Oh my gosh. I love a Costco's pumpkin pie. Have you been there? The huge one? It's like $5.99 for this big pie.
Giant
Like a
pie.
hula
Oh
hoop.
my gosh, that
It's
sounds
huge.
dangerous.
So I like getting
yeah,
theirs.
Dave likes it.
Yeah,
Diana
isn't
Wavers.
it great? And then, so right before Thanksgiving, they sell out. People are waiting in
Really?
line trying to get those
I've never
pies.
had this. I know, we go to Costco all the time.
They had samples
Vanessa
yesterday.
keeps buying them all.
Yeah, they're
Got
sold
stacks of
out.
them.
They had samples yesterday, so go. Because they're giving you
my
samples.
Gosh. The problem is I will nibble on that thing through New Year's. I'll still be like going in there getting 2 bites, 2 bites, 2 bites. I love
Diana
it.
says that's a great price for 2 dozen. Loves the cherry, by the way. We're all talking about the
Keep
chocolate,
an eye on
and
that.
not the apple. She
$13 for 2 dozen of those.
Paul's going to find us some
Yes.
for
to see
tomorrow.
if they look like that.
Grubhub is gonna find us some.
Yes, even better.
Jake says hold on. The schedule with every other Friday off is a pretty good schedule. The 980 schedule he calls it, so 5-4, 5-4.
Okay.
So that it's the middle ground, right? I would take that.
I'm okay with that.
I would
Can you
take
imagine
every other Friday off.
Friday off?
Yeah.
Look, all of it's doable. All of it's doable. You just have to be progressive.
Deanne says dental offices have been doing this for forever, and that's true, actually.
It is true.
Do they take Mondays off?
It depends on the office.
And
but
Fridays
they
are
do
sometimes
generally.
half
Yes,
days. Whenever
yeah,
you're just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no dental emergencies on the weekends. You could just do like a half
Karen
day.
says this would be awesome, but she lives in Wisconsin. Thanks for watching us out in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
2-hour time difference this time of year, right? Or just the one
Or
now?
just the one now,
It's so
'cause we don't
confusing.
fall back. I know it is
we don't, but
confusing.
everyone else in the country doesn't know what time it is.
But I feel it's better because now we're closer.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry as much when you call people, right? I'm like,
yeah.
we're a little closer to the same.
Peggy says, my boyfriend's an RN. After working 3 or 4 12-hour shifts, he needs a day or two just to recover. I find that true with my nurse friends as well. And she says, how sharp can these medical people be when after 11 hours a patient's life depends on them? That's a great point.
Yeah.
One more from Cassandra here. She says, if they aren't a 24/7 business, go ahead. Otherwise, they have to hire more people to cover shifts. And P.S., having a random day off during other work days sucks. That's true. Splitting your weekend, you don't feel like you're actually resetting.
It's terrible. But sometimes you just have a day where literally just don't leave the house. I just putter around, do nothing. Literally nothing. I do. I'm that old lady who just putters around in my PJs all day. I find little things to reorganize.
Unload the dishwasher.
Puttering.
Makes it feel like you did some work.
But then if you have a day off during the week, it's kind of nice because when you go to the stores, they're not as busy.
I love
right?
it.
And the
Make
I
your
love going to
appointments.
movies.
Yes.
I love going to
yes.
movies when nobody else is there. Like Tuesday,
Happy
10 a.m.
hour.
I
love happy hour.
We know.
You go to way more happy hours than I do. I gotta
Wow.
start hanging out with you.
It's getting contentious. I think it's time to say
No, I need to go hang out with her. Gosh.
coming to a
always
town near you, a happy hour near you.
Surviving this. And Rachel.
We're gonna take you around town and show you all the hot spots.
All right, guys, we got to go.
Talk on Tuesday.
Today in AZ After Show, back tomorrow, 7:30. Same couch, same place, different topic probably. But if you want to talk about working less, I'm down
Or
with that.
happy hour. Let's
Food will always be included in our topic.
Probably.
It always finds its way.
Okay.